All right, this is a video of making homemade egg foo young. Okay, hold on. I got a mixture of vegetables, which is celery, mushrooms, carrots. That's it for that. I do the onions separately because I want the onions to saute first. Okay, so I'll turn on this little pan. I put a touch of grapeseed oil. That's backwards. I don't know how to get it not backwards. Let's do this. Okay, so I gotta turn it this way in order for it to not be backwards. But then I can't see what I'm doing, but that's the goal. Okay. All right. Let's put you back up there. All right. Drop the top, but I'll get it later. Just a touch. I don't use much. A little bit more, so maybe a healthy tablespoon. All right. The only reason I'm moving that out the way is because I don't feel like picking up the top yet. Now, what I do, take some onions, start sauteing. All right, let's get that going. Move this out of my way. Hold on, I've got to get a spatula. This is what I use. Okay? But get the onions sauteing just for a minute, just till they're soft. I don't want them like super cooked. And then what I do, add in, I had these already chopped up. So I've used predominantly, you see the pan, I use a lot of vegetables. Lots and lots and lots of vegetables. Now what I want to do is cook this for a minute because I do want the mushrooms cooked a little bit, the carrots cooked just a little bit. To me, this is like the easiest part. Now, on top of that, those cook. Well, I'm going to show you in a minute, but this is what I'm going to add. Let that saute. You turn this thing around. See? Mung bean sprouts. Bean sprouts. Hold on. I'm going to show you how I make when I add that. Alright, so right now we got these cooking. Now, it depends upon your pan. If you don't have, like, this is a really non-stick, good non-stick pan. I forgot who the maker is, but I bought it for my vegan cooking because it kind of helps not have to add so much oil and like just eggs don't stick. All right, so now at this point, this is what I do. Just eggs. I pour it in. A nice, healthy amount. Matter of fact, because I'm at the end of this jar, I'm going to just pour in. That was probably about that much left in the jar. Okay? Now, I'm going to season mine. I want garlic. Again, this stuff is not turned around, but anyway, that says it's granulated garlic. I mean, you couldn't always chop up fresh garlic and add it, but for me, this is just the way I'm doing it today. Garlic. I'm going to use a pinch of salt. Find my salt. Now, you do have vegetables in here that are not seasoned. So again, you can be a little liberal, not too much, but all right. Now what I do, you can't see it. Let me do a turnaround. Okay, see how it's cooking? Now it's gonna cook like this for a minute. I kind of break up the bottom so it can start firming up some. All right, but I'm gonna let this cook. Okay, I've got it at like a medium temperature of fire. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit where it's actually at medium. All right, we're gonna keep on cooking this. You don't want to cook it too fast. You don't want to cook it too slow. All right, we're gonna continue to cook this. Let me put the thing back. So you see how it was cooking. Oh, and I want to show how I told you this naan is like really great. You can see how the whole patty is moving. Nothing is sticking. This pan is really, really, really a good pan. And it allows you to cook stuff without anything sticking. Okay? So that's that. But it's got to really cook. I'm going to turn it back up a little more because it's slowed down more than I want. Okay. Hold on because I got to get some flour. All right. Getting my flour bin. Okay, we still see how it's getting brown at the bottom. All right, because I'm gonna flip it over in a minute. See how it's looking. All right, I'm about to flip. Didn't quite work. Hold on. All right, you can either flip it like by your hand, like you can tilt the pan real slow and get something and then flip it over, but I do my best to do it like that. And that looks like this is what it looky like. All right, so it's gonna brown. I need it now to get just as brown on the other side. Okay, so we're gonna let that go. Now I am only fixing like one big huge patty, and the one thing I forgot to add in was my bean sprouts. So I'm gonna add that now because I'm sorry, I love bean sprouts. I usually add it when it's on the other side, but I can add it here. It's okay. Hey, you can add it there. And what I'm gonna do is let it cook for a minute. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put these up under here. Move it off to the side. Put the bean sprouts up under there because I want the bean sprouts to cook just a little bit with the rest of it, and I don't want to overcook my eggs. All right, not the ideal way, because usually what I've done is put the bean sprouts in while the first side is cooking. But it's like I said, bean sprouts cook so fast that now let me show you what I've done. I've tucked them under. See, the majority of them are tucked up under there. Okay. And of course, bean sprouts are optional. You're going to use whatever vegetables you want to use. All right, I'm going to let that cook for a minute. I want to make sure it's good and done. And like I said, green sprouts to me are, they're going to cook regardless. All right, while that's cooking, put this up. While that's finishing up, let me show you the seasonings I'm about to use, because these are very key. That's almost done. All right, this is what I use: mushroom seasonings and my vegetarian seasons for my stock, classic vegetable stock. Because what I'm about to do, you know, the key in anything It's gravy. All right, this is done. So, this is for me. What I like to do. Let's see here. Yep, bean sprouts are done. All right. Like I said, I'm making one big patty. Look at that pan. Okay? Love, love, love this pan. Now, I'm covering my egg foo young until I get the gravy done. Now, here's the gravy. We're back to grapeseed oil. You can use any fat you want, butter, but I prefer oil. I'm going to add just about the same amount, maybe a healthy tablespoon. What I'm then going to do, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm making the gravy. So I added the oil. I'm now stirring in the flour. Okay. All right. Now I want a little more flour. I don't know how to tell you. It's not about, for me it wasn't measuring. Probably about a tablespoon of flour or a tablespoon of oil to maybe a tablespoon of flour. Try to do it even, but I don't measure. Sorry. And this is starting. This is called the roux for the gravy. Okay, so keep in mind this is going to help thicken it. All right, so I cooked that only for a minute. Now let me turn you back. All right, so we got that going. What I like to do, this is me, my own personal preference. I'm going to saute some onions over into it. Can you see the onions going in? I don't want a lot of onions. This is just my own personal preference. I like onion flavored gravy. Let me put you, we tip again. So the onions are over in there. Told you I love this pan. It really, I mean, either if you don't have a good cast iron, that already is non-stick, this just, it works, has been working really phenomenal for me. All right, let's turn this back around. Okay, now what I do, now we're going to build the gravy. All right, with that, let me move everything out the way that I don't need. This is distilled or, well, clean water. I wish I could knew how much. Okay, I don't know how much that was. Maybe a healthy cup. It's gonna look this ugly, right? It's gonna look real ugly, right? Hold on, let me get a. Okay. I'm then gonna start working it in. Okay, see how it still looks ugly, but watch this. This is where you add any broth in that you want. My broth of choice is that vegetarian base. This is how much I use. I'll put it in here. Now, depending on the color, I do admit I go. Let me add some more. When it gets nice and brown, then I know that's the color I want. Okay? This is gravy. Remember that. Okay. I then grab my other ingredients because it's in the refrigerator. Oyster sauce. Hold on. Where's my oyster sauce? Okay. Sorry that took so long. Then add in, watch how much I put in. Oyster sauce is a bit cold. So what is that about? Maybe 2 tablespoons? No, maybe a healthy tablespoon. Now, after that, I put in a dash of my mushroom. I put in a dash. When I said dash, maybe a half a teaspoon of each. Then I'm going to stir this up. I'm building the flavor for my gravy. What I also do for color and a little flavor, I add in, let me show you in a minute, Worcestershire sauce. Now, put very little Worcester because it's so strong. It can be both for color. Maybe a half a teaspoon. Okay. So now we've built the gravy. Show you what the gravy looked like in 1 second. Let me clean off. Let me clean this down. Now me, I have to cook. I want to cook it for a minute. So hold on. Let me get rid of everything here. Wipe things down. Get this put up. And while I'm letting that gravy start to cook, let me move everything out of my way. Put up the Worcestershire. I don't think I'll need it, but I'll put it at the front just in case I do. I do leave out the oyster sauce because sometimes I'll add more depending on how it tastes. So, all right. All right, let's see what this is looking like. This, again, is the gravy. It's not cooking fast enough. It needs to boil. I need it to reduce just a little bit to help thicken up, help the flavors to blend. And again, this is gravy. This is for the Egg Foo Young. I always keep rice in the refrigerator. So let me get the little water in and throw this in the microwave. I'm gonna cheat. Put this in the microwave. Okay, now I'm gonna show you what that little bit of flour did. If something happened and you ever add not enough flour, you can always thicken your gravy up at the end with cornstarch. But generally, this is just me scraping down the sides. I don't want the side. Now I'm going to show you what it's looking like. And of course, I have to give it a taste. Okay, let me take my glove off. That's my cleaning glove. Can't clean without that. Okay, here's what it's looking like. Okay, you see that? That's gravy. It's already gravy. Now again, I'm gonna cook this until it. I like to cook it for at least 5 minutes, at least, maybe 10. But it's basically you're helping it to reduce. You're helping to build that flavor. All of the seasonings that you put in gives it a minute to bloom. Now I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because I don't want it going too fast. Hence the reason for the onions. And we're gonna taste it now. I don't need nothing else. It's rich. The flavors are pretty deep already. It's gonna get even deeper as this cooks. And I'll be back to show you the finished product. I'll be back.